Shalom Yasharallah. I'm going to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of GMS, and honors to you brothers that's doing this work and pushing this truth, pushing this word in sincerity and truth. Now, the lesson I got today is based off these three scriptures. Start off with Isaiah 14:4. That thou shalt take up a proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased. Now, what's going on right now in America is people are no longer going, oh yeah, let me go America, where the pavements are paved with gold. That isn't the life anymore. That's not how things are. And it's the same over here in the UK. I mean, certainly many people that live in Africa basically think the same about England, but any of these Europeans, you can see that they've lost faith. There was this series on BBC Three, which was basically watching Eastern Europeans and their want to come to UK, and then finding out that it's absolutely nothing that they were led to believe. And people would come and then they'll find somewhere to stay, etc., etc., and then soon after they'll be like, whoa, well, what is this? I mean, everything that they said about the UK, I mean, it came down to even how the women don't look right in the UK. The guy was saying how all the women in Europe look good apart from the English women. But yeah, people are starting to see that the US and UK aren't these lands paved with gold. And then the next one is 11. It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows, and the worm is spread under thee, and the worms covered thee. And that's basically how the infrastructure is being fatigued, which is basically the main thing I want to bring out in this lesson. We'll talk into it, we'll go more into that. And then the last thing is Habakkuk 2:6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And this thick clay here is talking about debt, which I'll go into that first. This is the US debt clock. They always talk about this number here. That's what, $17.3 trillion, right? The way, I won't get into it too much, but the way, in fact, I should really, if I'm getting into it, I should get into it properly, so I'll just leave that. But they never tell you about this number here, and this is the US total debt of $60 trillion. There is absolutely no way that the US will ever get out of this debt. I mean, how do they always say, we're in a financial crisis, we have to get out of this problem? What do they propose? Let's spend more money. And where are they getting this money from? They're borrowing this money, getting more into debt. So their way of building an economy is getting into more debt. And there's absolutely no way that these two numbers are ever gonna get any less. And then that's when they're gonna have to basically bring in a new form of currency, i.e. this chip. I mean, that's the it's the age we're living in. We're living in the digital age. And I'm more into Isaiah 14:11. Now I'm going to start off with this. This is the grading scale. A is exceptional, fit for the future. It says the infrastructure. I mean, you can read this more. It says infrastructurereportcard.org. I'll put the link in the description box. See, and take a note of this. Poor. The infrastructure is in poor to fair condition and mostly below standard, with many elements approaching the end of their service life. A large portion of the system exhibits significant deterioration. Condition and capacity are of significant concern, with strong risk of failure. Right? Now take a look at this. D plus, D, C plus, D, D, D plus, D, D minus, D minus, C, C minus, C plus, D, D, and one B, and followed by two more Ds. And what does that say? Poor at risk, which is when we go back to here, the worm, the worms are spread under thee, and the worms cover thee, because that is what's going on. The infrastructure in America is completely breaking. Let me see which one it is. This is Christ in America, a crumbling infrastructure. It's just this one. This one has the amount of bridges. So in Pennsylvania, 25% of the bridges are considered deficient by the scale that they've set out here. If you look all around here, everything is breaking down. You know? This is beautiful, man. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. I mean, it's only gonna get worse. Anyone that you hear these crackers talking about how things might get better, they're not gonna get better. They're only gonna get worse, and when the time comes, it's just gonna be complete and total annihilation. And I've achieved my purpose. I mean, as in what I set out to do. I mean, I brought out these few scriptures and these few topics that I wanted to bring out. So I'll put the links in the description for you. And yeah, so like I said, I've done what I set out to do. So I'm going to say all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Shalom.